Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Ashley Aaliyah. Here I analyze and discuss the fashion of celebrities and anyone influential. On today's episode, I am covering gymnast Jordan Chiles. I wanted to discuss her for several reasons and how I would style her. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, so bear with me. Now, for one, do I think Jordan's style needs some work? Absolutely. I think that her issue with fashion is with most athletes. I think certain attributes of the body that are a flex to show off in athletic spaces don't necessarily transfer over the same way in fashion spaces. And I think that's a roundabout issue with fashion and athletes, period. Also think she's petite, so I think that plays a factor in certain fashion choices as well. The makeup, I do think she could use some improvement in makeup, but I don't think this is a problem that is exclusive to her. I think that a lot of the people in the industry have become babies to Instagram and social media aesthetic type of makeup versus what's more fitting for their skin type and their look. And would I like to see her in different hairstyles? Absolutely. What made me want to do this video is TikTok. Jordan has been at a few events, at least 2 events lately, and the comments around her have been brutal. And this stood out to me because, as you know, Simone Biles, outside of recent, when she was at the Met Gala and what was she at, the Derby or something like that. Prior to that, she was getting certain critiques about her images, and most of it had to do with her just not pretty much doing her hair, but being in certain spaces. And the critiques were never about her hair texture. It was always just like, girl, just groom your hair if you're going to be doing X, Y, and Z. And Black women, specifically dark-skinned women who had 4C hair, were in an uproar. It was countless think pieces, it was think pieces with certain comments her husband made in interviews. It was just a whole thing, And on one hand, I can agree with the narrative of we shouldn't speak on Black women in certain spaces. Black women should have freedom around their beauty aesthetics and hair, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I agree with that. But I think if you are going to die on that hill, then it has to be that across the board. What I found interesting about TikTok is the same women who were in an uproar when any critiques were made, no matter how valid, about Simone Biles, were the same women saying the nastiest things in the comments under Jordan's photos. Speaking about her body, speaking about the fashion she had, saying the nastiest things about her makeup, saying the nastiest things about her hair. And I have a theory behind this, and this, some people may feel away. And if you've seen my face before, then you know I am a brown-skinned woman. I am not light-skinned at all. And I have 4C, thick hair. So please understand, I'm not light-skinned with 3C, whatever type of hair. So I have a theory with TikTok specifically. I think that a lot of the women think that certain women are worth protecting, specifically dark-skinned women with 4C hair, because, of societal things, which is understandable. But I think a lot of them think it's a free-for-all when they see lighter-skinned women, especially lighter-skinned women who have different features than them, and they think it's okay for them to say the nastiest things out of their mouth, and they should not be challenged or corrected because of previous or still going societal behavior and narratives that have been spoken about dark-skinned women with 4C hair. And I don't think that's okay. I feel like if you are going to die on the hill that all Black women are deserving of protection and all Black women should not have to deal with people overly critiquing them about the choices they decide to make with their hair, their makeup, fashion, then that should be across the board. And skin tone should not be a measurement or increment of who you think is worth defending and who you do not think is worth defending. And I don't think it's spoken about enough on that app, and this is not the same as certain people with colorism, X, Y, and Z. No, I'm saying it's just like if You are going to be in an uproar about what was happening with Simone Biles. That's your right. But you also don't get to double back and be in the comments and just rip Jordan a new one in the comments and think it's okay. And you're holding a bias within yourself because you may not like lighter skinned women, or you may not like women that have certain features because of whatever experience you have had with them. And it doesn't give you a pass to be nasty to women based off of what your experience has been. Again, if it's going to be a no when it comes to Simone, when it comes to the critique, then it's a no with Jordan. And I seen someone in the comments when I commented something of that nature about the protection around Simone versus Jordan, someone tried to say, well, it was about Simone's hair and the things with Jordan, she could change. I said, well, the critique of Simone's hair was never the texture. It was just, girl, brush your hair, or if you're going to do a natural hairstyle, do it this way, or get some braids, or get something X, Y, and Z if you're going to be in those spaces. And as we've seen her as of late at the Kentucky Derby and the Met Gala, she took that advice and took that guidance. The same could be said with Jordan, where it's like, yeah, it's not to say that she shouldn't change up her makeup look or change her fashion and certain things, but it's a way to deliver their message. And the fact that it was a lot of women who were up in arms about Simone. If you read those comments, they were saying the nastiest things underneath that post about Jordan. And I just did not understand it. And I think that's one of my biggest issues that's happening in Black sisterhood right now, where it's like people feel like it's certain Black women who are worth protecting and there's certain Black women who are not. But that's a whole different thing. But I said I was going to go on a rant about it. But I feel like it's nothing wrong with having a respectful critique of Jordan, just saying, I wish she wore something different, or I really wish I could see her in a dewy makeup look, versus commenting, she look a effing mess. I don't know why she keep wearing it. She look like she belong in a casket. Her hair is this and da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Because if anybody even said an inch of that underneath one of Simone pictures, y'all would be in an uproar. And so that is what really motivated me to do this video today, is that it's just like, can Jordan use some guidance in her fashion? Absolutely. She is not exclusive to it. Most athletes can use a little help. I mean, we've watched Serena Williams for years, and we've always said that we would love to see her with better fashion and better hair and makeup and things like that. So it's not wrong to have those thoughts about anyone in fashion, but it's the way that the message is delivered. And I don't know, it's just, again, you can't be up in arms about one and then think it's a free for all for another one just because aesthetically she doesn't look like someone that you feel like is deserving of your protection. And y'all can say what y'all want about that, y'all can feel away about that, but at the end of the day, ain't none of y'all gonna beat my ass. So I'm gonna say it because that was the one thing that really bothered me the most about a lot of the stuff that I seen under the post of Jordan. But this is my video. I digress, but this is my video of how I would style Jordan if she were my client. I would love to see Jada Pinkett Smith on Jordan's mood board for fashion. They are both 4'11", and although Jada physique may not be as athletic as Jordan, she is still very fit. And I think I would love to see like a lot of nods towards Jada's fashion for her, but just a more of a youthful version of it. I think Jada has done an amazing job of a few things. One, elongating her body. I think that when you see her in photos, although we know she's petite, I think the way she's styled and the way she comes across in photographs, she doesn't look as short as she is, for one. And one of the first things I said about Jordan's style is that I think that certain features that are okay to highlight in athletic spaces don't always translate well into fashion spaces. And I think a lot of Jordan's fashion, they focus on her arms because they are toned and muscular. However, in fashion, that always doesn't translate over well, especially if you are short and petite. I think the part that she can take nods from with Jada's fashion is that Jada plays up her legs and her back. Sometimes the stomach, but it's mostly her legs and her back that she plays up a lot more. She wears her arms out, but they're it's very rare that they are the star of the show. It's usually she has a mean shoe on, those legs are out, and if she's wearing certain gowns, usually it's like a dip in the back or something like that. And I think that would look amazing on Jordan's physique if she had pieces that highlighted that more versus her arm area. And I feel like if they are going to highlight the arm and shoulder area, then I think they have to be very mindful in the fit, length, fabric, and what else is being channeled in the fashion capacity, so that way it doesn't come across as looking too masculine, if you will. Because I don't think that necessarily being toned or fit makes you look masculine, but I think when you don't pair it with the right fashion choices, it can take you in the wrong direction. But I think that Jada has a very well-rounded style, especially when it comes to fabrics, colors, versatility, streetwear versus red carpet. I think that she has a really great roundabout style for a 411 frame, because I think even now more so than ever, you see a lot of stylists struggling with dressing more petite physiques. And even if you see them doing it, it's usually like a petite physique that has had surgical enhancements done. So you can just imagine with a 411 athletic physique, like the struggles that are surrounding those type of body types. So I just believe that Jada's team has always done an amazing job at dressing her body, and again, making her look a lot taller and than what she actually is. And she never looks like her clothes are wearing her or like they are oversized or ill-fitted. And I think this is something that Jordan's team can take from this style and kind of elaborate on and just give it more of a youthful feel to fit Jordan's style. And Jordan also does not have an over-sexualized style. So that's why I also think that Jada fits the bill to be on her mood board, because Jada's style is fashionable. It has some nods of tomboyish capacities as well, but it's still very feminine, but it's, how can I put it? It's sexy enough, but it's not overtly sexy. So you are still focused on the fashion versus certain body parts being out more than they actually should be, if that makes sense. For Jordan's hair mood board, I would love to see Troy Byer on there. I would love to see Jordan with more natural type of hair, like natural curls, or even like what they call, I think, like the flip over method with like the curly sew-ins or curly weaves, or even like the curly wigs. I just would love to see her more with like bigger curly hair versus her hair always being slicked back, or like that wet and wavy weave that she's doing now. I think this would really look good on her. For multiple reasons. I think it's very flattering to her facial features, her aesthetic. I think it's very effortless type of look. And I think in a way it's very like charming, and it holds character as well. I just think it would be so cute on her. And if you watch my videos, then you know I've been on a little mini crusade on getting some of the girls back into like that softer, natural S type of glam. And I think it would be a nice feminine balance to her fashion and style, especially in the cases where she wears her arms out and it's supposed to be like the highlight of the show. I think the curly, carefree hair like this would add a feminine touch to the look, so it will ensure that the look is going in the correct direction. Now for makeup, and honestly for hair and some fashion, I think Christina Milian would be a great person for Jordan's mood board. Christina is also 5'2", so she's also in that petite S type of family. But I think the thing that I love the most about Christina's makeup and why I put it on Jordan's mood board is that it's breathable. I think Jordan's makeup is a little too heavy and a little too trendy. Jordan also has textured skin, so I think she would benefit from having something a little bit lighter weight. Not necessarily 100% dewy, but just something that is not as heavy on her, and something that just highlights her natural features a lot more than the current makeup looks that she has. And I think Christina Milian is someone who has done a great job of that. Even when she wears color on the eye, I think it's still done in a very natural, glam-esque type of way. I think the hair too, it's along in that curly family that I was speaking of, but I think Christina also had fun with like middle parts and side parts and different colors. I would also love to see Jordan have fun with her hair like this. I wouldn't mind seeing her with the blonde either. I don't think she would look bad in blonde hair. And I think some of the fashion that Christina has would be fun for Jordan. Because although I think that Jada is amazing for her mood board, 4 times that she wants to be a little bit more casual, youthful, and carefree and not as buttoned up and professional, I think Christina Milian has a great style for that. So this concludes my video of how I would style Jordan Chiles if she were my client. Again, I will put Jada on her mood board for fashion. I will put Troy on her mood board for hair, and then I will put Christina Milian on her mood board for both makeup, for makeup, hair, and fashion. So, okay, I will see you guys the next episode. Follow me on LTK to shop all of my style boards. Make sure you follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok at Ashley2_Aaliyah, and you also can shop my account as well. To book me for styling services, you can visit my website, www.ashleyaaliyah.com. To shop my boutique, you can visit www.richbitchcollection.com. If you are in Philadelphia, Delaware, the counties around Philadelphia, or New Jersey area, you can book me for makeup services at www.sincerelyashleyb.com, and you also can shop my cosmetic line. Thank you for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my playlist to binge watch my videos.